Hello and welcome to my channel on human design. Today I want to look at the subject of how to get unstuck. And when I'm talking about unstuck, most of you will connect that to generators. So those people with the red square in them that are designed to respond to life that get stuck. This doesn't necessarily mean it's only generators. All the types, the projectors, the manifestors, and the reflectors can also all get stuck. So what I want to do is give 5 tips of how to get unstuck. And the first one is going to be reference points. What do I mean by reference points? I mean to be able to see what the circumstances actually are, to look at your life in terms of an observer and to see where you are stuck, where you are not moving, what is repeating that constricts you. Now, this can be all kinds of things. In your work, it can be the fact that you're not enjoying the work. You're not enjoying what you're doing. You're plodding into the work every day, and it's pretty much the same thing. That you're held in place, perhaps by the structure of the company or some petty tyrant in the form of a boss or a colleague that is putting you in your place consistently, where you feel powerless, where you feel stuck, but you keep going in every day in order to get the money you need to live. It's very understandable, but you've got to see what is fixed. What are the reference points? So you're getting up every day, and for the same amount of time, you're going in and spending your life force and doing something you don't enjoy for money. It's a common problem. How can you change it? By seeing you're stuck. First of all, the reference point is I'm stuck here, and I'm here, and I'm here. Perhaps you've had an accident, or perhaps you've had a situation where you cannot move that much. Maybe you're tied to your home for some reason. The first thing is to define for yourself, without doing anything, what the level of stuckness is. What is it? What is it about? Is it about your health? Is it about your work? Is it about the general life that you're living? You may not be able to put your finger on the fact of exactly how to get out of it. But the first thing is to recognize that you're stuck. If you look at it in terms of the body graph, we're looking at the 5th gate. We're looking at a gate that's to do with timing, a gate that is to do with rhythm, a gate that is to do with habits. Are you in restrictive habits? Have you created a lot of coping mechanisms in order to get through each day repeatedly, that keeps your energy down, that gives you perhaps little lifts, perhaps with sugar, perhaps with entertainment, perhaps with watching Netflix or whatever it is, all the coping mechanisms that you're enforcing your stuckness with in order just to make life bearable. So the first thing is to see it. What are the reference points? What are the points that you can measure any progress from that is beyond where you are? The second thing, when you think about becoming unstuck somehow, listen to the mind talk. Listen to the not self mind telling you, I can't. You know, there's nothing I can do. Well, that's not true. There's always something that can change. There is always something that can change in your life. I don't care how small it is. You know, it's just a matter of perceiving that you are capable, even though your mind is telling you you can't. And one of the things that we try to defeat ourselves with is competition. You know, when we're stuck and we go, well, I want to be where they are, you know, I want to be like them, or whatever it may be. And we put in front of us someone who's, for whatever reason, has got to a high position in life or what people call a high position, you don't know their history. You don't know what they've been through to get there. And by competing with them at that level, it further reinforces, I can't. I just can't. And the mind comes in and says, well, it doesn't mean that I can't for always. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. When a new day begins and you look at that task or whatever it is that is in your way and you go, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Right now, I'll just keep things going. I'll do it tomorrow. It's not important. And yet it is important. It is important that something is moving in your life. Stagnancy is a terrible thing, because the more that you are stagnant and the longer you are stagnant, the more difficult it becomes to get out of that. So this isn't about competing with others. It isn't about fantasizing, all the way like, where am I going to get to? It's about creating a level change. The not self-talk will put out obstacles in front of you that are not real. You're looking for a level change. To get over there, you've got to get here first and then here. You're looking for a level change, a gradual modification towards a better way of living your life, one step at a time. Now, this is not to say that level changes can't happen through sudden illness or a sudden shock, the loss of a loved one, or being sacked, or having to move from where you are to a completely different place. Many things can come in and will come in to shift you. The wonderful thing about being alive is that we do meet the cycles in life. The Saturn returns, the Uranus oppositions, the Chiron returns. There are all kinds of influences that come in order to kick us up the arse when we need it. But let's just say that for the sake of argument, that you're stuck and you've got this not self-talk going on, like, I can't, it's too difficult or whatever. Don't listen to the talk. You've got your reference points. What can you do? What is possible? And it's to do the closest thing you can, the low-hanging fruit first. How can I make a change? How can I get to another level by doing what I can do? And one of the things I find most useful and most conducive to creating change, to becoming unstuck, is in your looking around at the situation to see what the environment is like. What is the environment that you're living in? If you're living in an environment that is really untidy and chaotic, the energy isn't flowing around the rooms that you're living in. There's crap over there and there's crap over there and everything's a mess and you're just doing the minimum to get through. And it has a kind of power to it, a power to make your own environment a prison, because the things aren't moved. There is no movement of energy, and the old things are piled up in a corner somewhere, and that corner grows and grows with more and more crap. Cleaning is one of the best things you can do for a sense of achievement and also to help your environment become a healthier place for you. It's very important, because after all, you're looking at your environment every day. And if you're looking at all the things that are piling up, you're looking at all the things where you have been defeated. You've been defeated by your own crap. You've been defeated by the cardboard you've put to one side behind you. You've been defeated about the things that you haven't cleaned up, and they grow and they grow and they grow. And it becomes more and more difficult to imagine change. But if you can do one corner and suddenly that is free, it makes a difference in your psychology, because you can see change can take place. If you clean something that you've been looking at that's been dirty for a long time, it makes a difference. It makes a difference to your psychology. We're talking about an inner journey now. The inner journey has to be engaged in for the outer to change. And the inner will change the outer. It's inevitable. But you've got to start somewhere. And it's not by comparing yourself with others. And it's not by listening to the not self-talk. And it's not by keeping things the same. All these things will cause stagnation. Working with your environment teaches you something. It teaches you that maintenance is a form of self-love. That if you can maintain your environment around you, you are in fact giving to yourself. You're nourishing yourself because you get to look at things that are more beautiful. You get to look at things that are clearer. You get more space around you. So space is very important. Movement is life. Movement is life. And if you're in a place where there's too much clutter, you can't move. It's one of those commonalities I find when seeing people. You know, if I go into their house and there's too much clutter, I know straight away that they are stuck. It's apparent by the environment. The other thing that is needed in terms of getting unstuck is time. We are so busy keeping the life afloat in one way or another. And in this way, we're talking about keeping it afloat in a stagnant way. So not much is changing. If you keep on doing what you keep on doing, you keep on getting what you keep on getting. And so nothing much changes. So sometimes in order to make a change, you need to create time where you can really be in your own space without having anything to do, but actually looking at what can be done. Now, if you know human design and you know your chart, you will already be able to see certain abilities that you have in you that maybe you're not using. This is the beautiful thing about human design. It shows you where you're not, it shows you who you are. So if you're a generator and you're not moving and you're not doing something with your life force that is lifting you, that is getting you involved with the life, then the result is what you're living. The result of not using your energy to create a life that works for you. So you need time. Now, sometimes people go away on holiday and they go away for a week and they come back and then they're catching up and it was all a bit hectic. I think a good holiday is really, you need to be out for at least 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks, you're just winding down. But in the third week, you have time to reflect. You have time to see things from another level. You have time to zero in on what it is that you can do. And because you're not being distracted by so many things, you're not being distracted by the normal work that you're doing. You've left the people that were around you in your home in another place. You are freer in that sense. One of the things that leads to great stagnancy is consistent distraction. Perhaps from the people around you, perhaps through what you're taking in through the media that you're watching. Get away from all that. Find some way to get away from it. If you can't do 3 weeks, I understand. But use that time wisely. Embrace the life when you're out of the pattern. Think about the fifth gate. Think about the fixed pattern. Think about the fixed pattern that you're in, that you've recognized in the first stage of this process. You've got to find some way to break the pattern. Leaving where you are for a short time is one of the ways to do it. Another way to do it, and my fifth tip, is to move your energy. Go outside of what is normal for you. If you're a fourth line, you have friends you need to connect with. If you're a fifth line, you need to be out there to be able to meet your allies. You know, we all need help sometimes. We all need that mixture of auras that will give us energies that we do not have, that will give us perspectives that we do not have. The aura is going to pick up on what's happening around it, within 15 feet around it. So if you're stuck, I mean, you know this if you're a triple split, but if you're stuck, move your body through the public aura. Go to a library, go out shopping, you know, look and see what it is that moves in you when you come back. When you come back, your energy will be different because you have merged with the other auras out there. And if you're conscious of that, that can be a great help to you. And if you're an open sacral being and you've walked through the auras of 50 generators, you're going to be picking up the energy from them. You've got more juice now to be able to do something about the stagnancy, about the change, or not, or you can just let it filter out of you and go back to the normal way that you live. My advice is to use it. My advice is to consciously move within the energies of others. And when you come back, use it. You don't know how long you've got to use it, but something will happen. Something towards the change will happen. Now, change is progress. You know, maybe progress may also be a calamity, but basically, you're looking for change. You're looking for something to unstick yourself. Now, I can't tell you what it is without looking at a chart. If I look at a chart and someone tells me they're stuck, I will look for what can unstick them based on who they are. This is the beautiful thing. You can see it. But if you don't know your chart well enough, you can download the free report from my website if you want. That may help. But the point is, you're stuck. You've got to get unstuck. If you don't get unstuck, you're going to become even more stuck. The not self is very dense. If you're in the not self for too long, it becomes harder and harder and harder. And what happens? The life is lived in a very small way, and petty things begin to rule the life. And other people's opinions tend to make a big difference to you. You, where are you? You know, you are something that has to emerge through the conditioning, that has to emerge from that stuckness somehow. It's about embracing your own life, taking yourself seriously in the sense that you've got a limited amount of time on this planet, and spending it being stuck, not moving the energy, will just lead to more of the same. Wherever you're stuck, if you're ready to get unstuck, if you're sick of being stuck, begin the movement. Enter into the experiment. Embrace the life. Embrace your life. We don't have to remain stuck. We have to see that we are and begin the process of getting over that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, please like and share and, of course, subscribe. And I'll see you very soon with something completely different. Bye for now.